It's being reported that Jimmy Kimmel will be returning to his show, I believe tomorrow night. And that's great for Jimmy Kimmel. I have no issues with him. But I think the boycott and the cancellation should remain. Now, I never subscribed to Disney. I did get Hulu at one point, and I only got Hulu because I wanted to watch The Handmaid's Tale, which I want to get into. But the only reason he's getting his show back is because of the amount of money that they lost. It was reported that they lost about four, either million or billion in the space of 48 hours. So it's all about the money with them. It's not about people. And what we've seen lately is a complete disregard for humanity, the administration, things that are going on in the world today. People are unable to pay their rents. They're taking away from basics, just very basics, from the smallest of us to fatten the greedy. And it's the same thing with this. And if it wasn't for their bottom line, if it wasn't for their dollars, he would never have gotten his show back and they would have done worse. So I think that the boycott should remain. The fact that the First Amendment right is being violated, someone giggling with his ugly self about your body, my choice. But he wouldn't want that done to him. There is so much contempt being shown to humanity. And so I will not give my dollars. Like I said, after I watched the Handmaid's Tales, which I really didn't want to watch, I got rid of my subscription. So I'm not subscribed to any of them anyway. But it makes no sense to put money in the pockets of people who have no respect for you. They're okay to take your money, but care nothing about you or about humanity. They're taking away people's rights. And speaking of the Handmaid's Tale, now they've overturned Roe versus Wade. Recently, I hear there's an executive order now for something concerning where back in the 1950s, women needed a permission from a man to have their own property, to have a bank account. I'm hearing there's an executive order to put that back because they're saying that women's rights, women's ability to work are affecting white men. Unbelievable. You get rid of DEI, now you want to get rid of women's rights. And a lot of things seem like it's not possible that it can happen. But who would have thought that Roe versus Wade would have been overturned in the great United States of America? Who would have believed that? Look at the diabolical things that are happening in people's space. So to think that we can't go back to that, I find it difficult to believe, I think, but never erase the possibility that anything can happen. I'll conclude with this. In Afghanistan, the women of Afghanistan in the 70s were just like the women in America. Just go look it up. When the Taliban came, now these women's rights were stripped. They have to cover their whole entire face. They can't get an education. They're just breeders and slaves. And I'm going on this based on what I've seen online and what other women who have been following this have said. And the lady who wrote, Margaret Atwood, I believe, who wrote A Handmaid's Tale, she said that many things that are written, it has happened somewhere. And look at what is happening right now in the United States. There is a possibility of anything. And this is other human beings trying to minimize other people, minimize one group for the maximization of another group. What a bunch of wicked, demonic parasites. I would say the boycott continues. And what also this shows is that the masses have the power. When you band together, that's where the true power lies. They're a minority. They're a minute population, these so-called oligarchs and so-called supremacists, which is nothing supreme about them. They're inferior because if they were truly superior, they wouldn't do what they're doing. But when we stand together in unison, we're strong. Just a thought. These are my thoughts. Like, subscribe, and comment.